The airport here in Juneau is probably the most dangerous airport in the world because it has a once-in-aviation history event that involves a bald eagle, much like the ones you guys are getting to see right now. A young bald eagle once flew out of the Juneau Channel, having just caught a salmon for dinner. Very excited to take that home and eat it with the missus. Bald eagles mate for life, if you didn't know. He flew straight home, which must have been right over the international airport runway. As he neared the end of the runway, little did he know that a much larger bird had just taken off. 737 jet was barreling towards the young bald eagle. Now the pilots, when they saw it, realized they could do nothing to avoid hitting the eagle. So they hoped that the eagle would somehow dodge and avoid the plane. As that eagle got closer and closer, just before he would have gone kersplat up on the front of the windshield, he was able to dodge the plane. The same could not be said for his fishy passenger, though.
Oh, no.
Guys, that salmon became the world's first ever fish bomb to strike a plane mid-air. And strike it did. It was released from the grasp of that eagle's talons, hitting the front of the plane, putting a small dent on the nose, and then it splattered upwards, becoming windshield sushi. Yummy. A delicious early flight snack for everybody on board. Now, the pilots were freaking out though. They could not believe what had just happened to them. So they decided they would radio into air traffic control tower requesting to be let to land, because this had never happened in aviation history before, so they did not know what to do. They radioed into air traffic control screaming, "Mayday, mayday, 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 mayday. We have just been hit by a fish bomb mid-air. We repeat, an eagle has dropped a fish bomb on top of us. Please tell us what to do, as this has literally never happened in aviation history before, and we do not know what protocol is." They were surprised when air traffic control told them to keep on flying. The reason being, air traffic control later stated, is because the date of this attack and bombardment was on March 30th. April Fool's was 2 days away, so they thought it was an early prank that was being pulled on them by these two pilots. The pilots knew what had happened though, and they were freaking out still. They were thinking all about the young bald eagle that had dropped the fish on them. Now they definitely thought to drop the fish in such a way that that eagle had a lot of skills. Dare I say, they probably thought he was pretty talented as well. Now, they were flying to their destination of Anchorage, and on the way to Anchorage, they decided they would radio into every small air traffic control tower requesting to be let to land so that they could figure out what had happened and if there was any damage that needed to be taken care of. Eventually, the small city of Yakutat let them come in and land. Mechanic went out to hear their claim, believed they had hit something because of how sincere they sounded. But a fish was ridiculous. That had never happened before, he thought. So why would it happen to these guys? As he went out to investigate their claim on the plane, the first thing that he found in his investigation was that dent. So he reasoned that they had indeed hit something. He was right to come and let them land. As he began to investigate a little bit further, though, he started to find scales, fins, and other parts of the fish. Could not believe it. They had indeed been hit by a fish bomb. So the mechanic went out, cleaned what he could, fixed what he could, and sent them on their way, and everything was fine and everybody was okay. But the plane and the pilots were working for and operated by Alaskan Airlines, who saw this as a wonderful marketing opportunity, not only for their company, but for the massive seafood industry here in Alaska. It's our third largest industry for the economy. So, Alaskan Airlines went out and bought a brand new 737 jet. And they decided they would paint a big old king salmon on the side of the plane. Now, a plane with a sweet paint job like that has to have an even sweeter name. That plane would forever be known as the Salmon 30 Salmon. Not too bad if I do say so myself. Now, I know that this whole story probably sounds pretty fishy, guys, but I promise you, I haven't just been pulling your fins and tails. It is a real one, after all. You can go on, Google about the story, see pictures of the plane, learn a little bit more than even I know, I'm sure. The sad ending is, though, that the Salmon 30 Salmon in late April took its final swim. A little over 3 months ago now. So while it might not be swimming around in our skies anymore, I hope that now that you know the story about it, that it can swim on in your hearts and memories in perpetuity. Super sad story about a dead salmon. As we come here into downtown,